twins threatened by racist bullies, unaware they're black belt jiu-jitsu fighters. People used to treat me like I was nothing, just because of the color of my skin. In the polished halls of Westbrook Academy, an elite school populated by the privileged, my brother Miguel and I were notorious for being the scholarship kids, black twins who practiced jiu-jitsu like it was our lifeline. We were on the cusp of a battle that demanded strength beyond the mat. Privileged Galmer, a boy who flaunted his privilege, cornering us with a smirk and a volley of racial slurs. I watched, maintaining the calm that our father taught us, the calm of control in the face of chaos. Miguel and I exchanged a glance, a silent agreement to hold our ground a little longer, knowing that true strength lay not in reckless violence, but in restraint. Yet each encounter escalated, with Lucas pushing against the fragile facade of our dignity, taunting us, even snatching Miguel's metal cord as if to mock our achievements. Finally, it became clear. We were not the prey of his sadistic games. We were silent warriors poised for confrontation. Our resolve ignited a fire within us, and the lessons of our past flooded back as we trained harder, preparing ourselves for what lay ahead. That fateful day, in a deserted corridor, would change everything. Facing Lucas and his crew, we were ready. The world would learn that beneath our quiet exterior lay fighters forged in discipline and dignity. Strength, we discovered, was not merely about overpowering, it was about rising with grace, transforming pain into empowerment. In the end, it wasn't about revenge. It was about rewriting the narrative, reclaiming our stories, hand in hand. TASS. Title: Black twins threatened by racist bullies, unaware they're black belt jiu-jitsu fighters. 1 and 2 reaches up resume for the region of the shows. When hair, what's up? Quota kids, got room in your shack for one more. Lucas sneered, leaning against the lockers like a predator ready to pounce. Miguel's jaw clenched. He could feel Mateus's presence next to him, strong, steady. Just leave us alone, Palmer. In your dreams, you think you're tough with that black belt? You're a joke. Lucas pushed Miguel against the cold metal, the clatter echoing in the otherwise quiet hall. A few classmates snickered while others looked away, too afraid to intervene. You got no right, Mateus began, but Miguel shot him a look, the silent communication of their training surfacing amidst the chaos. Restraint was their weapon. Look at this metal, fakers. Lucas grabbed Miguel's metal cord, swinging it mockingly. What does this mean to you? You think it changes anything? You're still just another minority in this school. Tang. A fire ignited in Miguel's chest, a cocktail of humiliation and anger. He fought the urge to retaliate. It means everything, he whispered, his grip tightening. He could almost hear their father's voice in his head. Control is strength, my sons. Always respond with purpose. Let's see how tough you really are when we're done with you, Lucas laughed, turning to strut away, his friends close behind, victorious. Mateus turned to Miguel, brows furrowed in silent fury. We can't let him get away with this, bro. No, not yet, Miguel replied, chin lifted defiantly. We'll show him the true meaning of strength. As they watched Lucas saunter off, their hearts raced with anticipation and anger, ready for the moment they would reclaim their power. Title: Black twins threatened by racist bullies, unaware they're black belt jiu-jitsu fighters. Miguel and Mateus stood in the crowded hall of Westbrook Academy, the whispers and glances twisting like thorns in their hearts. They were used to the tension, but today felt heavier, charged with a simmering intensity. Lucas Palmer, swaggering with his entourage, spotted them and grinned, eyes gleaming with malice. Look who it is, he sneered, stepping closer, his bravado ballooning. The charity cases, what's it like being the school's little jokes? Michoneas cienched, but both twins held their ground, trained in control, minds echoing their father's voice. Strength is restraint. They exchanged a knowing glance, silently reaffirming their shared resolve. But Lucas wasn't done. He lunged, snatching Miguel's metal cord from around his neck, the gleaming symbol of their countless hours spent mastering jiu-jitsu. What? Is this supposed to mean something? Laughter erupted from his friends, and the air grew thick with the tension of trapped breaths. At that moment, something shifted deep within them. This wasn't just about taunts. It was an assault on their identity, their dedication, a line crossed. The weight of Camille's taunt melded with Lucas's act, igniting a fire they could no longer ignore. Miguel stepped forward, his breath steadying, a predatory calm enveloping him. Mateus mirrored his stance, the unspoken bond of brothers strengthening in the face of adversity. The corridor echoed with the silence of confrontation, as if time itself paused, awaiting the impending storm. They felt the world watching, waiting. The twins exchanged one final look, no longer just victims, but warriors ready to reclaim their narrative. Asterisk to Stairs title, Black twins threatened by racist bullies, unaware they're black belt jiu-jitsu fighters. As the sun cast long shadows in the corridor of Westbrook Academy, Miguel's heart raced. Lucas Palmer leaned against the lockers, a smirk spreading across his face as he shoved past Mateus. "What's the matter, Santos? Afraid to show your true colors?" Pornhub flinching, Miguel met Lucas's gaze. "You think you know me?" The calmness in his voice surprised even himself. Each taunt fell like hollow echoes. He felt the weight of their father's words control his strength. Mateus glanced at his brother. They shared a silent affirmation. They understood the importance of patience. But as Lucas grabbed Miguel's metal cord, holding it aloft like a trophy, the line was crossed. The nearby students watched, the atmosphere charged with tension. "You don't deserve this," Lucas taunted. "Try me," Miguel replied, an ember of defiance igniting in his chest. With the quiet confidence gained from late-night training sessions, he stepped closer, lowering his voice. "You don't know what I am capable of." That evening, they trained harder than ever, enacting their strategy, running through techniques until they were fluid and instinctual. Each small victory during practice fueled their resolve. Days later, in the deserted corridor, the tension mounted. Lucas lunged first, throwing the first punch, but the twins reacted swiftly. Miguel pivoted, executing a perfect throw that caught Lucas off balance. Mateus followed suit, skillfully defusing an incoming attack from Lucas's friend. As the altercation drew attention, the principal arrived just in time to witness the twins asserting control. With a nod to one another, Miguel and Mateus stood tall, confident in their strength and unified purpose. They weren't just black belt fighters, they were reclaiming their space. As the sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows through the deserted Westbrook Academy corridor, tension thickened the air. Miguel and Mateus Santos stood poised, a silent agreement binding them as they faced Lucas Palmer and his gang. The twins recognized the familiar bravado in Lucas' sneer, but this time, they felt the simmering resolve igniting within them. Team Lucas lunged forward, grabbing Miguel's metal cord with a forceful jerk, the gesture exposing the unspoken history of prejudice and pain they had endured. The twins' eyes met, a quiet determination shimmering in their gaze. Years of training flashed in their minds, memories of their father, silently encouraging them to embrace control over force. Then it erupted. The boys lunged like wolves, but the twins transformed. With a series of fluid jiu-jitsu moves, they evaded Lucas, locking him into a hold that mirrored the very intimidation he reveled in. The bystanders who had once stood passive now gasped, electrified by the spectacle. Each twist and turn demonstrated not just physical prowess, but an emotional reckoning. The gradual unfolding of the twins' skills was nothing short of a revelation. Lucas, once so sure of his supremacy, found himself powerless, his bravado crumbling under the weight of unveiling. As Miguel released him, the silence grew palpable, the weight of his embarrassment heavy. Principal Diane Foster, alerted by the commotion, appeared, eyes widening at the sight. Witnesses murmured the twins' accolades, their respect blooming in real time. In that instant, the unsung heroes, the twins, were no longer shadows. They stood as pillars of strength against the collapsing facade of their bully. Lucas stumbled back, mortified, while the whispers of admiration for the Santos twins reached a crescendo. As the principal calmly laid down consequences for Lucas and his companions, the twins felt a wave of silent triumph wash over them. No over-the-top revenge was needed. Justice had been served, tempered by their dignity and restraint. They walked away with heads held high, while their peers erupted in applause, a communal whisper echoing the newfound respect enveloping the halls of Westbrook Academy. In the aftermath, the twins were not just seen as fighters, but as brothers bound by resilience and the transformative power of grace. As I look back on those tumultuous days at Westbrook Academy, I carry a bittersweet awareness of my journey. The confrontation with Lucas and his friends tested not only our skills, but the very essence of who we are as individuals and as brothers. In the heat of that moment, we could have unleashed our full strength, but our discipline and the wisdom instilled in us by our Father held us back. It was a reminder that real power comes not from aggression, but from the ability to choose restraint and prioritize respect for oneself and others. The aftermath of that encounter brought unexpected changes. Lucas faced consequences, yes, but I realized that healing starts from within. I've learned that true strength lies in the community we build, in standing together to uplift rather than to dominate. I navigate this newfound wisdom. I find myself asking, do you think I went too far? What would you have done in our shoes? Have you ever faced someone who underestimated you? I invite you to share your thoughts, your stories, and engage with us in this conversation about justice, strength, and compassion. Let's inspire one another to be the change we wish to see.